Hey everyone, welcome to Adobe Live. I'm your host, Fabiola Lara. If you haven't watched the stream with me before, I'm an illustrator and I'm a content creator. And today on this challenge, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 different quick transitions that you can edit inside of Premiere Pro that are just going to help create like this really fun reveal effect, which in turn will help people just like keep watching your video for longer and hopefully engaging with you and hopefully following you and hopefully becoming a part of your community. So that's why we're here today. I'm going to share 3 different transitions. Of course, since I'm an illustrator, I'm going to be sharing them in the context of revealing my own artwork. So you'll see here the different transitions to just kind of like show the viewer the end result of my art. You can use this as an artist, whether you're a designer, photographer, however, whatever medium you take, you can apply these transitions, or you can just use them to reveal like a great outfit. There's just so many creative ways that you can use these techniques. Now, before we get started, remember to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of our amazing tutorials. And don't forget to download the starter files. So I created a folder that has all of the clips that you need so you can follow along with this edit. So that way you can actually like get some hands-on time learning all of these processes, and I really recommend downloading it. I think it'll be fun and very useful. So with that all said, let's pop on over to my desktop and get started working. Okay, so here we are. Your starter file will look a lot like this. Maybe a few things named differently, but very much like this. I have 4K files. You'll have 1080p files just because, you know, I'm sending them online. But it'll be the same exact way to edit. All right, so let's get started here. I just want to show you an example of some of these transitions. So you'll see in the file that I have a folder, a bin called sequence, and then a sequence called all transitions. So that's kind of where I created all of my transitions, and then I wanted to organize them a little bit better for you. Sometimes that's how I edit. I create like a all my clips or all my just like different little tidbits of sequences of clips that I really like together, and then I'll like use them in different parts of my edit. That's just how I do it. So none of this has audio. A lot of this is audioless. I would recommend using something like Epidemic Sound or just like Adobe Stock to add some music to your transitions. But I'll share with you some sound effects that we can do later on. Okay, so this one I'm calling the wrist flick. Wait, I'm just gonna go one by one. So this I'm calling the wrist flick. It's kind of, I don't know how else to say it, but you'll get it once you see it. Be sure, okay, you can see all of that, perfect. You see, it's really quick, but like, it's super fun. And I bet I could like extend this a little bit longer so you could see, but I think I did a lot of takes, so check it out. I love it, it's so fun. That's super quick. I'm gonna just extend it, but you can see the reason I didn't extend it is because I keep going. I did so many takes. So you have to be patient with yourself when you start recording these because it does take a few takes to get it just right. Okay, so let me show you exactly how to edit this. So I'm just gonna start a brand new sequence, but I'm just gonna do it by duplicating this. So I'll call this here wrist flick demo. You could just do it in a brand new sequence. You already have them built out in your starter files so that you can like, you know, take them apart, so to speak, if you need to, but let's do this one live. So how I would do it is first I go into my footage. Now, of course, it's crucial in here that you actually film your footage. You have to plan out the footage that you want to use if you intend to do these transitions, because it's not going to happen otherwise. Okay, so in this clip, I do this a lot. You could see all the different takes of this. And then I have some like that. And so the key to this is that you really want to make sure that your tripod stays in the same exact place. Because if you move your tripod, it's game over. And you need to use a tripod because otherwise, like, there's no way you can be steady enough to pull this off otherwise. And I just wrote myself like a shot list that was like wrist flick, blank mini, wrist flick, finished mini. So you could do something like that. All right. So in this sequence, I'm just going to try and find one where like I like the beginning and the ending. So I kind of like this. So I'm going to hit I to insert, to do my starting point. And then, okay, so right about here. Out. So now I have my out point. So now I'm going to drag, I can just drag here the video only onto my timeline. So I'm going to hit keep existing settings. The sequence settings for this, I've already set them for you, but it's a 1080, 1920, 23.97 frames per second. That's just how I recorded it. Now you'll see that this is now huge in here. It doesn't fit because it's a different size. Because I filmed it on a tripod, my camera thought it was sideways, whatever. All I'm going to do is here in the properties, I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. And you probably won't have to scale it down, but I do because I'm working in 4K. You will leave it at 100%. So now I have this. All right. Now I need the part where I actually reveal it. So let's find one that I like. Of course, you want it to look similar to how you did it before. So I feel like in here, that's kind of good. I like that. Out. Now I'm going to drag just the video only. Bring that over. I'm going to copy, I'm going to select this clip, copy it, select the clip that we need to adjust and hit paste attributes. Make sure motion is selected. And now your clips will look exactly the same. But we still have to line up the action, right? So what I recommend doing is like, this is the reveal shot, right? This is the final shot. I want to lower the opacity on this and drag it over my previous clip. And I want to start thinking about how I can line these up. So in the first clip, you'll see that I shake it down, and that's kind of when I want it to change, right? Like when I'm flicking it down and it's blurry, that's when I want the change to happen. So I'm gonna make sure I go to that, the most blurry part, oops, which I think is like most blurry part for this one. I think is like here. Yeah, so I want the new clip to start around here. But I want it to be, so I'm just gonna like mark. I'm gonna cut the first clip so I know that that's where I'm cutting. And I want this part, the second part, to be kind of the action up, like that. See how it's down and now it's up? So I'm gonna get it at the most blurry part, which is right around here. Cut, delete, delete, oops. And select it again. Let's bring back the opacity to 100. And bring it right back to where we wanted it. Okay, so let's play this through now. So that worked great. So you can see that at the bottom is when it like switches, but it goes so fast like you can't really notice. Unfortunately, I kept doing it here, so maybe I should do it. Let's move it to like this part. So it's the same thing, but it's not. Just the ending's a little bit better. Like that, yes, okay. Let's see if I keep doing it. You gotta remember, guys, don't be like me. Make sure you pause at the top and at the end so you can give yourself some editing room. But either way, this looks good. So that's how I would create this transition. It's super simple. That's basically it. I think it looks really seamless, and you could see this being really fun like in the beginning of a voiceover video, or just if there's like trendy music that has like a build up and then that would be so good too. We're not covering music this time around. That's for next week's video. So be sure to subscribe so you can watch next week's video when we edit to music. This is just all about transitions. All right, so I showed you the wrist flick. Let's go on to another one. Opacity mask. Okay, so this is what I'm doing here. Basically, it's blank, and then I want to swipe my hand and reveal the artwork. For you, it could be a show poster. It could be an event poster. It could be, I mean, the way that you could use this is infinite. I'm just showing you how to do it in Premiere Pro. Did you see that? It's really seamless. Ta-da! Okay, so, and thankfully, this time around, I held it, so, okay. I'm going to show you how I edit that. So you know what, instead of like building a whole new sequence, I'm just going to do it here on the side, and you can follow along from there. So I'm going to go into my footage, I'm gonna go to the shot, which is this one. Again, my camera thought everything was sideways. All right, so I started with the mini print there, but I need shots without it. So right here is a good one. And I think I picked this one because I had space on either side. Yeah, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead. I mean, I could pick any other one too. Like if I wanted to, I could pick this one. Okay, either way, I think I'm gonna go with my original. I think I liked it better. In to mark the in point, and out, that just marks the part of the clip that I want to put into my timeline. So I'm gonna drag the video only. Great, now again, we have this, like it doesn't quite fit. We can go back to the original wrist flick and just hit any of these clips. Oops. Copy, opacity mask, and then I can also just keep pasting these attributes and it should work great. Yeah, there we go. That's just like a little thing so you don't have to keep adjusting all of your settings every single time. Let me make sure everything looks good. Yep, okay. So from here, I'm gonna go back to my clip and find one where I swipe my hand over and reveal the mini print. All right, there it is. In, out. Again, I did a lot of different takes of this. Maybe I'll do this one. In, out. Drag the video only, pop it on over here, and let's copy those attributes so that it's not horizontal and zoomed in. Right click, paste those attributes. Great, so now they look the exact same. And by using a tripod, I can keep the background looking the same from clip to clip, which is essential, right? Because if the background moved even a little bit, it's gonna be off. That's why I recommend shooting in manual for this, because if like your white balance changes a little bit, or the focus changes a little bit, or just like anything changes, it's gonna kind of give you away. So let's see. All right, so clearly I need to, the cool thing here is we're working with actual motion. So we have like motion blur happening, just like the wrist flick. So I want it to be right around here is where that print starts actually showing up. So I'm gonna cut it so that once I get to like this point, I know that's kind of where I need to switch to the next clip. So I'm gonna bring that clip on, I'm gonna stack it on top. You can see here, move this up a little bit so you can hopefully see a little more. All right, so you can see I have the two clips stacked on top of each other, and I need to find the part where I go over it and the print starts revealing itself, which is right around here. Let me scoot over, guys. All right, so I'm gonna cut here using the razor tool. I have shortcuts on my mouse. That's how you see me moving around so quickly. Now let's play this through. Let's see what we have when we kind of just like a rough edit. It kind of works, but you can kind of tell that here it just like pops in. So you could leave it like that. No one, most likely if it's that fast, people wouldn't notice. But if you want to perfect it, which you know we always do, I drag this to the top, right? So now they're overlapped. I play with the opacity again. I'm going to move it down to 50%. Okay, so now we're at 50%. So you can kind of see where the previous clip, the clip, let's call it the empty clip, is underneath and the mini print clip is on top. You can now use this to like align them a little bit better. It's kind of confusing because you forget which hand is doing what. So it seems like my mini print hand is a little faster. So I'm gonna move that back. So let's see. No, that's too fast. I need to move it the other way. It's a little confusing. Okay, yes, now they're like kind of aligning. I'll extend the bottom one so I can fully see. Yeah, you can see that here, my hands kind of go the same speed, which is perfect. That's why when you're filming this, you need to kind of be mindful of like the speed, keep it nice and even so that you can match it really well. And now right around there is when it starts to reveal, but it like reveals too much at once, right? Like I don't want this part to show. I want it to show once the hand kind of moves over it. So let's create a little opacity mask to get that effect. So I'm going to move the top clip, the mini print clip, I'm bringing it back to 100%. So just to reiterate, we have the bottom clip and the top clip with the mini print revealing on the top clip. All right, but we need to smooth this out. So on this top clip, I'm going to hit, where is it? Opacity. Yeah, I'm going to do this opacity mask. So this creates a mask so I can kind of like just select any part of the video that it's applied to have in my program monitor. So it's a little confusing to think about sometimes, but I'm going to move this square to the top and I'm going to select these bottom two and just drag them down. And oops, I'm going to drag them down, but not that far down. Okay. Drag them down, and then I also want to move this one to the corner and this one to the corner, because essentially I want this to reveal as the hand goes over. So, all right, we have to move this opacity mask accordingly. So in the beginning, I don't want anything to be shown, right? None of it. You can see here, it's important to have your effect controls up because here's where we're going to end up keyframing in order to like sell this effect. So with your mini print selected, with like your top layer selected, I want to go through and I'm going to start keyframing the opacity. I'm going to start keyframing the opacity mask. So I'm going to hit mask path. So that kind of creates the first keyframe, which is right there. Then as it goes over, I want it to reveal more, right? I want more to show as this hand leaves. So I'm going to start moving it. So I'm going to click this mask and I'm going to move it, but I'm actually going to move it. I suggest moving it from the point. So I just selected the points. And so at this point, I want both of these to show. And then there I want even more of it to show. So again, I'm just like taking these and moving them along. Okay, so let's see. Now you can see that it didn't feather it quite right, and maybe we moved the mask too far. So like, let's delete this keyframe and let's add one by hitting Command. There we go. Every time that you move it, it creates a keyframe. So you got to move it to like where you want at that point in your timeline. So let's see. Now it's not doing exactly how I want it to. Let me see something. Okay. I think I need to keyframe the reverse, even though that's how I did it before. Let me take a look at how I did it earlier, guys. There's so many ways to do everything. So on this one, the mask, yeah, I did it the same way. All right, so I was doing it fine. I love to doubt myself when I'm streaming live. You know, you got to doubt yourself. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and let's increase the feather of this mask so it's not so obvious. So that kind of helps a lot. Yes, I love it. It was just that. And you can tell like maybe my hand is not perfect, but because they're over each other, it doesn't super matter. It's totally fine. And it still looks like my hand and it's in motion blur. So I feel like it's believable. So let's play this through. So cool. I feel like you can really see like my hand wipe it on. Isn't that neat? All right, so that's that effect. I was doing it right the whole time, but I doubted myself. All right, and so you can think of, there's like so many ways you can use this mask effect, mask tool essentially, to reveal anything. You could do it with your outfit. You could do it, I mean, there's like infinite ways that you could use this tool. I just wanted to show you like one simple way. I could see you doing it for like a journal spread, or like if you have an invite or something, literally anything, you could apply this and just like, you know, film it like that, top down with your hand sliding over it and create this cool opacity mask reveal effect. And for our last one, real quick, before it's time to go, is our motion blur. So there's a few examples in here, but I'm just gonna be able to tackle one right now. So check out this real quick. All right, so I feel like it's hard to tell. It would definitely work a little bit better if we had some music, but that's for next week. There we go. So it's really, really cool. Let me show you how I did this. It's super quick. So I'm gonna just go ahead and reveal the clips in my folder so I don't have to guess here. So it starts with this little section of the video, and then it ends with this section of the video, and you can see how I ended up doing it. So I'm gonna grab that, put it together, zoom in, and let's go ahead and apply the same attributes that we've been pasting for everyone. Oh, we don't need to turn it, so we'll do 0 on that. So it's just changing the scale. So I'll just do 50. All right, and then from here, it can just go like this, but I feel like it's kind of boring. So what I did was I did two quick things. I scaled in. Wait, no. On the first one, on the transition of the second one, in the beginning, I scale in, I zoom in, and then I go forward like a frame or two. And then I scale back to the original full screen. So that kind of does like a zoom in. Oh, it didn't stick, hold on. You gotta remember to hit keyframe, and then here we do a little bit of a zoom in like that. And then the other thing I did was for this one, we start closer. So right here, a good thing to do is you hit this toggle and you're able to move this video. I enable my guides and I move them to exactly where I want the reveal, like the mini print to be. And then I go to my previous clip, and for this one, I'm gonna zoom in a lot and kind of match it. So I'm gonna go like this. It's just like a match cut with a little bit of action. So I'm trying to match it into there. So let's see how this looks. So it's kind of, you can see the effect here. It's moving too slow, so I need to bring that keyframe in. So it's kind of like that. You can see here that in my finale, I end up having to zoom in order to account for this space. Let me just show you the breakdown on the one that I actually did. I applied here a little bit of a motion. Oh no, I just did a cut, and you can see here in the effects controls that I have the scale change a little bit, position and scale. And then I also maybe worked with the directional blur here, but no, I didn't even work with the directional blur here. You could add it if you wanted to. And just by like matching the mini print here to the mini print and that we transition to, it kind of helps sell it. And you see that little blur, that's the motion blur that I added to this clip. You can see it all the way over here. I added the quickest motion blur, which is literally just an effect here. If you type in blur, you get it right from over here and drag and drop it. And then you're able to input these settings with the different keyframes. So it's really simple to do. If I wanted to do it for you right now, just so you could see, at this point of the directional blur, I'm gonna set it at 0, 0. So it should be 0 the whole time until then we go to the last frame, and I'm going to punch it up. You could do 45, 35, you could do 91, 71. It really just depends. And you'll see it blur here. And then the same thing could be done on this side of the clip, which I don't think I have it applied. So I'm gonna show you extremely quickly how I would do that, which is I would keyframe here the same one. So I think it was like, let's say it was like 9170, 9170, click, click, and then here I would do 0, 0. And so you'll be able to see that in the starter files, how to play around with that so that you can pull off this little match cut effect using directional blur. All right, guys, be sure to tune in next week. I'm going to have another Adobe Live where we go over editing to the beat of the music. So that'll be super cool and will be like a continuation of this, so you can further sell your transitions. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and stick around for the next stream. All right, guys, bye.